This is the Florida police officer that was arrested and charged in the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Airman Roger Fortson. It says the former Florida Panhandle police officer who shot and killed Roger Fortson, a 23-year-old Air Force service member, earlier this year has been charged with manslaughter and arrested. The state attorney Friday had filed charges against former Okaloosa County Deputy Eddie Duran, 38, for manslaughter with a firearm in the May 3rd killing of Fortson. So he turned himself in and he was booked into jail on Monday. Fortson was fatally shot after Durham arrived at his apartment complex in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, responding to a call about an alleged domestic disturbance. Durham knocked on Fortson's door and Fortson opened it while he was holding a legally owned handgun. Of course, the sheriff's office initially framed the fatal shooting as self-defense. Hearing sounds of a disturbance, the deputy reacted in self-defense after encountering a 23-year-old man armed with a gun, and after the deputy had identified himself as law enforcement. A May 4th statement from the sheriff's office read, well, he did, but he didn't initially. However, body camera footage released by the sheriff's office shows the deputy knocking on Fortson's door and announcing himself several times. Fortson eventually opens the door, holding a handgun at his side. The officer yells, "Step back," and immediately begins firing. Fortson only had time to raise his empty palm outward. 3 or 4 seconds elapsed between Fortson opening the door and the deputy firing 6 rounds. And this is where we're at right now.
Howdy, sir.
And of course, this is the transparency that they keep saying. We got body cams for transparency, yet they're going to mute shit they don't want you to hear.
What's going on? I'm not sure. I just was told to let her know if you guys come by. Okay. So I'm going to give her a quick call and let you guys know. I'll let her know.
So there was a fight going on or something?
I was not present for that.
Was not present for that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Are they fighting or something?
And of course, he keeps muting it.
Happens frequently.
Okay.
But this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
Happens frequently, but this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
Okay,
This time,
So I'm not sure. 2 weeks ago I was walking by their apartment basically.
so we're talking about 2 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago something happened, but now you just heard something else.
This time, and I was hearing someone yell like "shoot the up," like you stupid B word and all this other stuff, and I heard a slap like right after it, but I wasn't sure where it came from, and I couldn't call. Like I didn't want to call the police. And, you know,
Which room is it?
1401.
1401, okay.
1401.
1401. But the girl sounded scared. The one that called, she said she was like, "It's getting out. It sounds like it's getting really out of hand."
So it's hit number 4, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You do me a favor, we stand out there and direct the deputy that's coming to this area?
It's not. You're gonna go up to the 4th floor, and it's gonna be on this side.
Gotcha.
Of course, we're gonna let you not hear all that. He's stopping. He's listening to see if he hears arguing, screaming, shouting, crap breaking, fighting. Good idea. He hears nothing. Now, I don't know if it's at this point, if he's listening again, but the information says that he covers the peephole. So I don't see that. I've looked at several videos. Unless he's doing it now and we're not seeing it, I don't see that. Listening. Knocking on the door. Not announcing who he is or why he's there. And then he steps away from the door. So if this guy's coming up to look through the peephole to see who's out there and somebody's beating on the door and he's like, there's nobody there, I might have to grab my firearm. I do the same thing. I'll get a beep on my phone that says motion's been, we come in and out the mudroom door. And I'll get a beep on my phone that says motion's been detected at the side door. And I'm like, I'm here by myself. As I'm pulling up the camera, I'm grabbing my firearm and I'm walking out and I'm walking through the mudroom and I'm peeking through that blind to see what's going on. Usually a deer, but that's where we're at. He stepped away from the door. So whoever's looking out the peephole don't know. But you can trust and believe if somebody opened up that door and peeked around, he'd pop him in the face with that gun.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Now he's going to scream and holler and announce who he is. Sheriff's office, open the door.
Sheriff's office, open the door!
Still going to stand back. Sheriff's office, open the door. At that point, it was all over with. There was no need for that. That guy had that gun down at his side. Right there, bam. Gun is down. Little dog there probably like, holy crap, what the hell is going on? Gun is down. He yells, step back, and shoots. That gun is down. There is no deadly force authorized. Sorry.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
And he was on FaceTime with his girlfriend at the time.
Drop the gun! 312, shots fired. Suspect down. Do not move!
Also, in the article that I read, it said, Reason recently reported on a New Jersey-based police training company that glorified violence and promoted unconstitutional tactics. After being exposed by a New Jersey government watchdog and banned in 9 states, the company declared bankruptcy and relocated to Florida. So I'm not sure if this department, it's Street Cops Training, and we're going to look at that in just a minute, is part of. If Street Cops Training is part of this department's training, you'll see why that's problematic in a minute.
Violence and criminal activity has made headlines across the country.
Shocking.
As a result,
It is
law
not.
enforcement has spent millions of dollars on new training.
So when training videos surfaced with what many described
Because you always hear them say, more training, more training. No, they have all the training they need. There's no accountability. And then there's shit like this.
as teaching sexist and racist behavior, it got the attention of state officials up north. Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty found the company behind it has moved to Florida, and we want to warn you, some of the language you're about to hear you may find disturbing.
I love violence, I love fighting, I love shooting. 75-year-old black man, and I'm like,
This isn't video from before the civil rights movement, or even from decades ago. It's street cop training. The company calls itself the fastest growing law enforcement training in the country, changing the world of law enforcement by properly educating police officers on what they can do.
Properly educating them to be more thugs than they already are.
West, south, wherever. You don't believe me? Run from Georgia State Patrol.
Its training tactics have been called into question. It's banned in 9 states, according to court filings. But Action News Jax has learned street cop training is now welcome here in Florida. The company posted on Facebook, "Me and the company moved to Florida. It was nice to be welcomed with open arms and even encouraged to come here. They needed a new place after New Jersey helped push them out with this 43-page report released last December. It found street cop training glorified violence and an excessive militaristic or warrior.
Who was shocked about that? Nobody. Nobody's surprised about that. The last 20 years, law enforcement has completely gone to absolute shit. Sorry, it has.
Approach to policing. The report refers directly to this 6-day conference, October 2021, in Atlantic City.
Somewhere along the chase becomes.
And he's laughing about chasing someone and they're screaming, and then him shooting them.
Found more than 100 discriminatory and harassing remarks.
If you're trying to get a little booty boot boo nanny boom tang, whatever the hell you call it, okay, there's an approach.
I'm not the one with the 1-inch.
Adding there were repeated references to speakers' genitalia, lewd gestures, and demeaning quips about women and minorities.
Nobody is surprised about that either.
I sat down and watched some of these videos with our Action News Jax law and safety expert Dale Carson. He's a former Miami police officer and FBI instructor.
One of the primary goals of instructing police is to keep their attention. And so you tend to say things that you certainly wouldn't want to say in public.
Do you think in watching that video, in those videos, do you think...
Yeah, because you don't want public to know what you're saying behind closed doors.
...that those conferences are teaching aggressive, deadly, or dangerous tactics?
What I saw from the snippets is something that I wouldn't want the public to know I was watching or using as a training device.
The public should know everything you're watching and using as a training device. Who the hell do you think pays for all this? The public. They have a right to know.
I wouldn't want that.
After the report was released, Street Cop Training founder Dennis Bonino posted this video to YouTube.
And it was bullshit.
Personally take responsibility and apologize for any inappropriate or offensive language that was used.
He takes responsibility and apologizes because the news got a hold of it and it got out to the public.
Used by a few of our instructors in the 2021 training session.
He was one of the instructors mentioned numerous times in the report.
I'm not the guy who's recording you like, I am not a citizen of the United States of the Act 12-6, right? Not the pepper spray. Hey.
Notice all the cussing? Yet, you can't cuss in front of them. That's disorderly conduct, and that's everything else that they can think of to charge you with.
Windows broke out.
Bonino was listed as a speaker at the Street Cop Training Conference this month in Orlando. We asked him how he's changed the training, but he did not respond.
Because he hasn't changed the training, because they're still getting away with it.
Took the 2-hour drive down to the 5-day sold-out conference at the Gaylord Palms Resort and Convention Center.
Could we talk to you a little bit about the conference?
I don't agree with the statements made about the conferences that they've had. I've heard some of them about them saying that they incite violence. That's not what we're here for. It's absolutely not. And I strongly disagree with that.
Sergeant Michael Bodkin with the Baker County Sheriff's Office asked to attend.
We're not out here to hide anything from the public. We're here to make sure that what we're doing is for the betterment of everybody.
The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office also went, sending 5 deputies, including a supervisor. After we reached out, they say they will evaluate the training and discuss future attendance. The Nassau County Sheriff's Office said they didn't send anyone, adding, we do not use any training associated with Street Cop. The company provided a demo for us last summer, but we decided not to use them. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says this is not a vendor JSO has utilized at this point, and it did not send anyone to Orlando. But Action News Jax obtained these billing records showing JSO paid for 3 of its officers to attend Street Cop training in the past on the taxpayer dime. This was in 2021 and 2022.
Of course, it's all on the taxpayer dime. All training, everything law enforcement does is on the taxpayer dime. I'm confused why people are so not understanding of how this works. Your tax dollars go to support this.
Before it was banned in other states.
As for our law expert,
as a former police trainer looking at those videos, would you use them?
I wouldn't use them.
Putnam and Clay counties said they did not send anyone to the conference and do not use their current online training videos. We also reached out to Street Cop Training for a statement, but we haven't heard back.
Of course you haven't. Who do you think you're going to hear back from?